right, stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
John, you want to do the prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over us as we make decisions for the community. And we have a special prayer tonight. Please be with the White family with the loss of their grandchild. Thank you for everything you've done for us, Lord. Help us do the right thing with the money that we've been blessed with. Thank you for everything. Amen.
Amen. And our thoughts and prayers are with you guys and your family.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I know what that's like.
Yep. You do. All too well.
Okay, guys, thank you. We're here on Scott County Redevelopment Meeting on a Thursday night this week, December 12th. So first on the agenda tonight is the Johnson Fire Department, and we've got Dwayne here.
Can I stay here? You want me to come up there?
Maybe come up. We got to make it all official, so. And get you to move around a little bit. So.
Thanks, bud. Well, I'm here tonight to ask for a little bit of money that we talked about your last meeting. I'll just be honest with you. I've been doing this somewhere between 30 and 40 years, and it's always been hand-me-downs. Or somebody making a special deal, or not only is it going to improve us, but it's nice that we can take and pass what we got around and help others and enjoy this good stuff. So that's the big reason. We're kind of limited on what we can do with what we got. We have to stay within 100 feet of our truck. We can't go nowhere else. And you know, a lot of times cars are 100 feet off the road in the woods, and sometimes a tractor's on somebody and we can't get a truck down to them. We're just limited on what we can do, and we're looking to just expand our service, I guess, on what we could do, and these tools would help us tremendously.
You, and I can't remember, and some of the folks on the board here may remember, I know when John was in here on this initially, did he bring us an estimate on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he brought a...
Yeah, it's 48,269.14.
Okay. I didn't know what that number was.
And I know that's a lot of money, but it's just like all the new gear we got. We can take care of this stuff, and it's going to last us 20 years, you know, before we have to worry about, you know, what do we do now? So it's a big Band-Aid for us, but it's one we want to enjoy.
So you guys have that piece of equipment on a truck now,
Mm-hmm.
and then you guys also have kind of a portable system, but
Mm-hmm.
it's
that is not very dependable.
okay.
It's 27 years old. It's a small set. It won't do what the big ones would do off the truck. But yeah, we do have one we can.
So it's very limited in what it can do compared to what you're asking for.
You know, it's got to be where we're going to, you know, so it's only got 50 feet of hose with it. So it's really limited, and we haven't used it in God knows how long.
So let me ask something else. So with that, I guess when we look at the other surrounding fire departments, I know we've done something similar with City Scottsville. I believe Austin has that piece of equipment as well, right? What does Vienna have that?
No, Vienna is still hydraulic.
Okay, so they're kind of like your setup now.
Yeah.
And so, I guess, and Finley probably doesn't have that.
No, Finley's hydraulic, they're gonna have it, the truck they bought from Austin,
Yeah,
a set of rescue tools come with it,
that's right.
but they're in the training process to use it now.
Okay, good. I'm just trying to, look around countywide to see who has what.
Well, you're far enough from out of county too, from Scottsburg.
Mhm.
It'd be
And
something they
it's-
could use that, out in that area, I guess.
Yeah, it's something that, it can go anywhere in the county, if Diana needs it, all they gotta do is call,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess what I was getting to with this would, we've spent, this board and this county, as a whole here, and we've spent a lot of money with fire departments, whether it's come through ARPA funding, through the commissioners and council, or through this board, redevelopment. And, we've been blessed to be able to do that. I mean, so it's been a big year, I think, for all of our county fire departments, and we've been blessed to be able to give that money. So I guess what I was getting at, some of your other equipment, and you talk about being able to pass down and help out, if another fire department could utilize what you have. Obviously to grant, new equipment out there, to help another fire department out is where I was going with that.
Yeah, it's just, our run volume is, we make about 250 medical calls and car wrecks. 10 fires a year, people's house don't burn anymore. So this is where our money's coming. This is where we're sticking our neck out the most. And them new tools will really make it a little easier to do.
Yeah. And Jill, does anybody actually have, and I apologize because I didn't have the paperwork from, the previous meeting.
I'm sure.
If anybody has a copy of the invoice or such that John has in.
I've got it, honey.
You do?
Yeah, here's the front and the back.
And this, I guess what I wanted to look at was the date on the quote, and it was late October, so I'm sure the pricing's still relevant.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys wanted to look at that again. Okay.
Our year this year, and I'm bragging on John mostly, grants, mainly grants and money from the county commissioners. We hit about 300,000 this year. All new gear, all new air packs, a washer, a dryer, special rescue equipment for house fires, a RIP pack is what it's called. It's brought us, we're 20 years ahead now. You understand what I'm saying? Now we're in that spot where we can relax a little bit. And this is just gonna be adding to how comfortable we're getting now.
Yeah, that's good. And I don't mean to ask 1,000 questions. I'm just trying to get caught up, with all the gear you got here and some, new improvements, and just make sure that, I kind of got a better understanding of what you have and don't have out there. But
Well, our last set of gear we had, everybody had matching gear. We had to go to Delaware and get. It was in the same shape, but it was 17 years new. Because if we went to court, we looked a lot better at 3 years old instead of 20.
yeah.
But we got the new stuff this year.
So ultimately, who finances you guys if you need anything? Do you go to the commissioners?
No, we are trustee funded.
Okay.
And it's 42,000 a year.
Is
And,
what you're given?
And the first half of that is all insurance. That's 20-some thousand for insurance. And the rest of it, we gotta go the rest of the year on.
So there's no other ways for you to, I'm just curious.
Oh, well, we have fish fries.
Like can people privately donate to you?
If, some people
Or
do.
endow?
It ain't unusual to get a $50 check in the mail,
Okay.
which is amazing, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
it's not a big a community pride as it was 20 years ago. Those people that really loved your volunteer fire department really looked up to. You've been to our Christmas dinners out there. It just don't happen anymore. So fish fries, we had an auction last week. Got lucky and made about $1,500. But that's it. We can't sell fish anymore. We can't afford to buy it.
Well, and that, you know, I'm kind of getting off topic and such here, but the future of volunteer fire departments really, you know, has me concerned, because who knows? And I think, you know, when you look at the future of how state government could be structured when it comes to funding for trustees and such, I just wonder how that may look in the future.
Well, if you really want to see what the future of volunteer fire department is, it's not going to really be like the ambulance service. It's not really going to be county driven. It's going to be a district. The tax dollars go way up when you form a district, but when you form a district, every one of them fire departments that's got their own little niche in the county, you know, got their own little history, that stuff goes away. Everybody becomes one, and I may be the chief of the whole county, and that's something that I find hard. I would find hard to swallow, because I wouldn't want Johnson Township to change. I wouldn't want Lexington to change, or Vienna, or Finley. Finley, I'd love to see them change, because it would be a blessing for them, but,
yeah, it's interesting. Who knows, you know, but yeah, you're right, there's probably, something in the future that's probably.
yeah, it's gonna have to.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to. Not only do we not have the money, but the people aren't coming out for it like they used to.
Yeah.
You know, you guys volunteered all your lives. You guys are a little older. Those people like you aren't out there anymore. You know,
That's true. It's a different
you know,
world.
how much do I make when I do this volunteer thing? Nothing. Your volunteer thing.
That's why it's called volunteer.
Yeah.
So I guess just getting back to, you know, being able, if we, you know, we move forward here, we give you the money, the equipment that you have now, I mean, what's the plan for?
Well, the plan is to find somebody that needs it. I don't know if anybody in the county will need it. I know in Jefferson County, there's a little fire department in Paris Crossing.
Or even if they'd even wanted it sold.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Right, I get that.
The guy that sold it to us, he don't want it. And he knows how good the stuff is.
I guess where I'm going with this is if you would, you know, shop it around to see if any of the local fire departments want it, and if they don't, then by all means, if you guys can make a couple bucks off of it, that's fine, you know, that's fine, but just maybe on the behalf of the other fire departments, see what they might need, even if it's a part of it.
Well, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
sure,
know, I mean,
sure.
So
That's how
we've
we've
been-
done things for many years now.
We've been so blessed this year, there ain't no way nowhere we charge anybody for it. You know, we're just not gonna do it. It was our turn this year, and it's somebody else's turn to get something they can use for nothing. That's about the only way we're gonna keep each other going.
yeah, because, I mean, let's face it, I don't know, moving forward from this board, I mean, you know, we have to do things to keep redevelopment alive.
Mhm.
And we've helped about all we can help.
And we've spent a lot of money, and, but I know, I think something John brought up, you know, I mean, yeah, you guys are way out there, and I mean, it's always hard, you can't put a price tag on somebody's life, right? I mean, so, I mean,
It could be at the school, they need the help, it could be in a car wreck, it could be a bus, it could be anything that can be used for, so.
and I guess one of the other things with that is, that got me thinking about this a little more too, is the terrain out there. You know, there is out there in your guys' area, I mean, let's face it, you look at 203 out past the rock quarry,
Yeah.
even 56 and 3 heading out towards the rock quarry,
Mhm.
Windy Shores area and stuff. You get off the side there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're in trouble, right? So, I guess with that, I won't take no more of your time. I'll ask for a motion.
I'd make a motion to buy the equipment.
I'll second it.
Johnny Watt makes a motion, John Collins seconds.
Before you do,
Wait.
I appreciate you hearing me. Even if we don't get it, I appreciate you listening to us.
Sure.
We appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Can we modify the motion to be, are they gonna invoice you, and can you be on terms, or do you have to have cash up front to do
We'll
this?
have to pay it up front, yeah.
And that's the amount for sure?
Mhm,
There's
that's the
no,
amount.
okay, in that
And
case,
that's, and I'm glad you clarified that, so I wanna make that motion, it's for $48,269.14.
Yeah. that's the modification. John, you seconded? John, you seconded?
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you guys,
Yeah.
appreciate it very
Merry
much.
Christmas.
You're welcome, yeah.
If we ever do have another fish fry, I'll let you know, and I'll feed you.
I'll be there.
Well, I'm vouching, Dwayne's a pretty good cook.
No, I try to be.
I used to work with, Dwayne a long time ago, you know, and Dwayne's pretty
Be
good.
careful, I gotta get him out the door.
I know. You get the big head on us.
You know, like when I was a kid, I also volunteer fire department, you go by there and you can Saturday. If there were probably 20 members of that at that time, and there would be 20 out there every Saturday, caulking the old wall and
Yeah,
trying to keep
yeah,
the building
yeah.
put together or what, and you still see some activity over there.
Well, we got
but not-
24
not like
people.
it used to be.
Johnny, we got 24 people, and I can count on 7. Anything we do,
Right.
those 7 people will be there.
Yeah.
And,
About the way with any group.
yeah, and it's becoming, the new kids just don't understand what it takes to make something like a volunteer fire department go for
Well, but there's
years.
so many of them with their kids, they're involved in different things, and they're
Well,
running themselves to death trying to keep their kids into
Do you
things.
need-
we don't hold that against people, you know, if,
But it still, it affects your board as far as, and your volunteers.
just like your son, if, planting season, picking season, show season, baseball season, basketball season, if he can make 5 runs a year, he's very appreciated. You know, and that's the way we gotta look at it. Bylaws have to be changed, because people can't meet them because of their lives, their family. So those gotta be changed. When I come on Scottsburg, there was 18 members, and I was the 19th one. 18 of them owned businesses. So every time them pagers went off, they didn't have to stay home, they could go. And most fire departments at that time, even the county, had at least 3/4 of their department that could do stuff like that. You can't no more.
Yeah.
You know, we get 3 people a day. It takes 5 fire departments for a day fire. It takes us all. Just to have enough people to make it work.
And that's where, you know, like, say Tri-Hawk was to catch on fire during the day. It's not just all the fire department will be there, it's every fire department in this county, and half of Jackson County would be there.
We made, past 2 years, we made more mutual aid calls into Scottsburg than we have anywhere else, because they've had such big fires that the water system won't keep up, so we have to haul on water. That's just the time, it takes us all now.
Well, we appreciate what you do.
Thank you very much, thank you very much. I'll get out of your hair.
Okay, good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
guys
I
have a
work
good
Thursdays.
Yes, sir, I'll be there.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys very much,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Just let me know.
Okay, yeah.
I move we accept the minutes.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you. Okay, second on the agenda tonight is the consideration of minutes, and John's ahead of us with a motion to accept those minutes if everybody's had a chance to look at those.
And
Second,
a second.
Brad Stott seconds the meeting minutes, so all in favor of passing the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so looks like 5-0 on that, Jennifer. So that's all we had on the agenda tonight. Anybody got anything you wanna talk about?
I would like to ask, would you like to set a list like they do with the council and commissioners that, I don't know if it's the 4th Monday or whatever you wanna do, have your meetings that day, and then you vary them if you have to? or would you rather not?
No, I'm gonna say no at this
Okay.
time, because, seems like there's just so many meetings anymore that come up, not,
Yes,
I mean, I'm just talking from the commissioner side, but, you don't know when a special meeting pops in, a joint meeting pops in and everything, and I don't know, moving forward, but right now, it seems like everybody on this board is pretty flexible. I know Jill's got a lot that goes on those meetings too, but it just seems like that, for the most part, this board is.
Figure out,
Yeah.
just meet when we have.
That
to
week,
meet.
yeah.
Is that okay with you all? or-
It is for me. I like that you just
That's
text
what
out
I'm
and
saying,
say,
it seems
can
like
you,
this
can you,
board
can
is
you?
flexible enough
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, I know
Yeah, I
you
like
guys are
having
out of
it,
town, we
Yeah,
can
that's right.
adjust around.
I like it being the same every month, but if we can't, that's okay, cause I've got that flexibility. So I do have a question, on
Yes.
business wise, and it's not on the agenda, so am I allowed to bring it up?
Sure, well,
Did we ever,
I think it's fine,
You
Okay.
can amend the agenda and put it on there.
if it needs to be.
I'll make a motion to amend the
Yeah.
agenda.
for all business?
Okay.
Or-
All in favor of
sorry,
amending
Jennifer.
tonight's agenda?
Yeah.
So 5-0, amend the agenda.
Okay, item Scott County Fair Board, did they ever submit any kind of tax return, or did we
I
ever?
haven't seen anything.
You haven't? Yeah, he was the one wanting help with the,
It's on its way, to be honest with you, because I've talked to him, and through ARPA funds, the commissioners and
They got
council was able to
80,000.
give them 80,000 for what they needed to get the arena started.
gotcha,
I talked to some of the fair board members, and I said, I know that's not enough for what you need to do. I discussed it with Greg a little bit, we talked to Randy too about some of it, and said, what's a dollar amount that you guys would have to get bleachers and maybe a roof over the bleachers, so that if you get people coming into the shows, they're not sitting in the rain. And they said that they would work something up, and at that time, they would submit their financials as well with it.
well, they
So
were,
we can look over it.
okay, they were just asking us for 65 though, so I didn't know,
Well, that's the bare minimum.
okay,
They asked actually for 80, but I don't know if they ask us for 65, I see it on there too. But they actually had asked for 80, I know, from the ARPA funds.
so we haven't received any for you,
No.
okay, all right,
But they were in crop time and everything else right now, and all of them are working. So
Okay.
they're gonna come back to us again,
okay,
but they're trying to get their financials showing what you wanna see. And then I told them to get them an estimate is what it would take for bleachers and a lean-to over the bleachers, so they can make a nice arena or whatever,
Sure.
where they
they can attract people to come in and spend their money in our community,
I mean, yeah, and that's what it's gonna be, it's gonna be a good
okay,
attraction.
okay, thank you, John. That's all I had, sir.
Anybody else got anything? I don't have a full update on, the goings on, out near Tri-Hawk with our property, but, and the project that we had, but I
Talk to Brad.
yeah, Brad called, but and I need to get back with him and get him some information, but, they got their crops in. I know, I think they've started their survey work, right now, so I just need to follow up with those guys and see what their schedule's, looking like, and kind of see what the timeline is and see if the schedule's changed, for those deliverables. So I'll follow up on that, and,
He was asking me, he said, cause he was trying to line the fertilizer or already had or something, and I said, oh, well, wait a minute, now they're out there working, so.
yeah, I believe he had called me on Monday, so, I'll give him a phone call on that. I mean, other than that, I just wanna thank everybody for, all the work they do on this board. Sometimes, look, I get it, it's difficult, we have to make some tough decisions sometimes, but, we find a way to talk through it and work through it and try to do the best we can with the funds that we have. And, I appreciate everybody and the time that they take, for this board, because we do a lot of good things and we have the ability to do a lot more, right? And, we don't have a lot of money, but I feel like where we place these funds, we're effective in how we deliver them. And moving forward, we're probably gonna have to even be more strategic on how we spend this money. I know we kinda have, this board has a little bit of a capital project in mind that we would like to see. I'm hoping others in county government will see that as well. We've got a lot coming in, the cities, both Austin and Scottsburg have housing developments that are coming in. I would like to be able to do our part to furnish some jobs and, increase, our tax base with that, not only doing that, but extending, a TIF area for a number of years to continue to help, with other folks' projects in the counties that could help and make a difference. So with that, I wanna thank you guys, and gals for being here with us all the time and making those tough decisions. We appreciate it. And I know it's thankless, so nobody gets paid for this, but I appreciate you guys and what you do and being good stewards.
Thank you.
We appreciate what you.
Appreciate your leadership.
Because you're doing the heavy lifting in this board.
Well, it's a pleasure to do it. I mean,
You know, we get a phone call every now and then, you're having to deal with it most every day, and I truly appreciate what
Yes,
you do.
absolutely.
I couldn't do what you're doing.
I appreciate that, and, we're, like I say, I think I told Dwayne that it's a blessing for us to be able to do what we have done for not only them, but for everyone, and, so, it has been a good year, for Scott County in a lot of areas, so,
I actually went out to Johnson Fire Department, I think 3 weeks ago. And that equipment that we just replaced for them should have been replaced 15 years ago. You know, they were one bad move away from that stuff being broken, somebody stuck in a car, but they couldn't get them out.
He was right, they have always had hand-me-downs.
they have.
I mean, they've kind of been the last on the,
And a lot of it's been the second or third time. it's
oh,
been
absolutely,
hand-me-down, you know.
absolutely.
And them guys do a tremendous amount of mutual aid for like cutting people out of cars and, you know, that 100-foot, that sounds like a lot. I worked a wreck out there on Turley Road one night. Now
Okay.
luckily, when it went down in the ditch and back out, it didn't go on its tops, nobody had to be cut out of it. But I've got 75-foot cable on my truck, and I had to put 3 cables together to get to it. You know, if that car had have rolled over, they couldn't have got to it. So,
Good point.
I feel real good about that.
Yeah, good. One other thing I just want to say, Jill, thanks again with the city and the mayor and your guys' work, for partnering with the county, on the purchase of City Hall.
Okay.
I think it's great for the county, and I think it's gonna be great for the city, because you guys got a beautiful asset out there that you'll be able to utilize, and, it's a beautiful facility out there, and so I think it's a win for all of us, so we appreciate your guys' partnership.
Great day for taxpayers.
Absolutely,
They just, probably a lot of them don't know it.
that's right, yeah. What could have went
What
wrong
could have
there.
happened,
What
yeah.
could have happened didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of off the agenda, but when will we start moving people in there?
We have a year, but I know, just talking with the mayor, they look to be a little more aggressive if possible, but they do have a year in the contract to move, so.
I didn't know, like 4-H and some of that could be moved into the other side of it where City Hall can still be used, but that one side is not being used for anything, get it remodeled.
Too much work needs done.
I don't,
I'm just asking.
right, yeah, yeah, the planning standpoint from a county side is still yet to be,
Okay.
done here.
Just
but
curious,
Yeah,
that people are asking and I'm just trying to find out myself, so.
yeah, with that point though, the mayor did say, guys, whatever we do have open, the space that you're talking about, feel free to go ahead and start doing whatever you guys need to do. So we appreciate that from Terry, so.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm just thinking if we get the basement cleaned out, that would change a lot of the people to where that would help the judge.
Yeah, no, I think, to be quite honest, maybe not so much from the city standpoint, but from our standpoint, we're going to need that time for development. And things, and I think that probably gonna be another conversation with commissioners and council, here in the next few weeks, so, for us to develop a plan to do that, but yeah, the mayor's been gracious enough to extend his hand and say, hey, you guys, more than welcome to do whatever you need to do with the areas that so, again, thank you, Jill.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Jill, for what
Yeah,
you do.
yeah, thank you guys.
And Merry Christmas to all you guys, this will be
Yes,
our
you
last
too.
meeting for the
Yeah.
year, so.
I move we adjourn.
We have,
Oh,
well,
we
did
got
you-
one
one
thing.
second.
You looked at this, you wanted to call them before we voted to pay that, right?
Yes, because
That's-
that's kind of vague on that, and
Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's what I thought.
I just
you
want
said,
to clarify, that way the board understands what we're,
paying for.
to be open here, it's an invoice from Dan Christiani's, group. And I looked at it a little bit earlier and I couldn't really make out what the charges were for. But I'll reach out to them and we'll clarify that up. And then our meeting first year,
Okay.
we'll look at it. If they can give us a few weeks of grace there, we'll get them paid, so.
Okay.
John Collins made a motion. Anybody else got anything?
Second.
Johnny White seconds to close tonight's meeting. All in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Yep.
5-0.
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys have a Merry Christmas.